So, I don't know what the hell I watched last night. Crunchyroll decided to upload a 2008 movie I actually looked up. That's about 3 minutes short of 2 hours, I believe, like an hour 57 minutes and some odd seconds, called HELLS. Now, about HELLS, there is a plot here. And the plot is our main character is Renee, and she does the old school trope of I'm late, on her first day of school, running, toast in the mouth, bumps into someone, then, like, you think she's gonna do, oh, this, like, well, usually you bump into someone that's supposed to be, like, your love interest or whatever, and, like, oh, he's cute, but, like, hauls off, you never see that fucker again, she just keeps running, and she's done this 5 times at the fucking start. She's crashed into something. Anyway, repeat this a few times when she crashes into something or someone. And across the street from where there's like a road, and of course across the street there are some kids who I swear to God, they must have modeled after the kids from The Nightmare Before Christmas. They had the creepy grins, and like I think one had like hair in the shape of horns, and one was wearing a fucking witch's hat and a mask. Who the fuck those guys were? It kind of reminds me of those characters. And they're fucking with a cat. This two-tone cat. That's like, I want to call it the yin yang cat. But it's got like, it's like white or kind of like creamish on one side. Like it's kind of like literally split down, kind of like yin yang on the face. And the rest of its body, I think. Or was it just its face? Anyway, it shows up but never really explains too much, to be honest. And it's got kind of like gold eyeliner around its eyes, and it's carrying a letter, I think. They never explain what the fuck it's carrying or why. So throw that out the window. And so they're fucking with it. It's running across the street trying to get away from the kids throwing rocks at it. About to get hit by a car. Renee sees it and, saves the fucking cat. And a second later, a bitch gets hit by a truck. Or at least that's what we're made to believe. And all of a sudden, she's still running. Oh, I'm still late to school. But, like, clearly she's not in the same place she was. Like, there's kind of, like, darkness all around. But there's, an endless flight of stairs. And she's, like, running up it. Crashes into this hot guy who will be an important character later. And, she's told that, hey, you're in the guy's wing. The girl's wing is over there. So she goes. And she's in a classroom, and there's like, I think we find out later, like 7 other girls, and they all do not look human. Like, she's the only one that actually looks human. Like, there's one mummy chick with like 4 arms, I think. She has like multiple sets of arms. I wasn't really paying attention to how many. And she's always eating, and she's got like blonde twin tails, and she's kind of wrapped like a mummy in some places, and in some places she's got like bluish skin showing. And then you have, I don't know what the fuck this bitch is, but she kind of reminds me of, like, the Gargoyles movie? Like, somehow she reminds me of that. And she's, like, wearing a mask. She's a bitch. Mummy Girl we never heard talk, by the way. And then we have some kind of, like, she kind of reminds me of, like, a succubus or something. And she's got, like, red wings, like, red revealing clothing. By the way, yes, you do see revealing. Speaking of revealing, I forgot to tell you how this fucking thing starts. So we get like a screen of a zoom in, like there's little angels, angels. I don't know what the fuck they are. They're never explained. And they're like this very pale white color, and they kind of got like creepy faces, like very simplified creepy faces, like big giant dots. And this is very stylized shit. I don't know what they call the style, but it kind of reminds me of like, how you sketch. You do kind of like that scratching sketch thing in like an art class or something, where you're like you're not actually, you're doing like layers upon layers on, I want to say chicken scratch, it's not quite right there. You'll see what I mean if you see like a picture of it. And we get a close up of its ass, and we know they're men, or they're boys at least, because they don't draw everything in full detail, but like we see a butthole, we see wings. They're talking to some creepy, severed, demonic, giant bat wings on its head thing that kind of reminds me of something you find on like a metal cover or something.
Would you stop it? Ma'am. Every time.
Every time. Not even a joke. And yeah, he's like, just the little weird fucking creepy angel things are like asking the head like questions like, what are people, was it like, where people go when they die, why, just some fucking vague questions, and you're just like, why, what? So there's that, and then you'll get to read what I was just explaining before this thing I was telling you about. So I want to show you, like, it's not important to you, like, why are you telling us this? Because that's how you start the fucking movie. It's literally just something's butthole. And you're just like, well, I know angels are, like, naked in depiction and a lot of, like, religious art and shit, but I didn't need to see his asshole. Thank you. Like, it's not detailed, it's like, thankfully not detailed, but, like, detailed enough that, like, I know what they're showing, you know? But it kind of just took me aback, and I wanted to show you, this is a weird fucking movie. And there's a lot of scantily clad, girls. Anyway, so yeah, she's in the class and they're kind of a bunch of assholes. Who was I describing? Yeah, I told you about the mummy girl. I told you about the weird fucking gargoyle chick. And then I told you about the succubus chick. She's like red hair, red wings, red body suit, bathing suit. What the fuck is she wearing? I don't remember. Like some weird like thing that's also red. She's all fucking red. It's all the same color. And she's like pale grayish, pale whitish, I think. I was really paying attention. I was kind of distracted by, like, everything. Like, the style, just how vibrant everybody's personalities were. And then there was nipples in the shape of horns. Or horn nipples. It's kind of reminds me of, like, the Deal With It music video by Ashniko. Where she's, portrays like this Kraken woman. Kraken as in like giant squid, Kraken the monster. And she has like tentacle nipples. Like kind of reminded me of that, but like horns. Or, well, one clearly looks like horns. And then, I don't, it's very like, what the fuck? Kind of reminded me very much after I was thinking about it after watching it. Reminded me a little bit of the club scene from Devilman Crybaby, the Netflix version they did of it, where I did a review for that, and I'm like, I think they're on an acid trip or something. I was like, this is what I imagine if it was something on like an acid trip or something. And like when what was it? I can't remember if I think some of them were on drugs, and then they were all, I'm talking about God damn it, not Devilman Crybaby. Yeah, Devilman Crybaby. There you go. I was like, I'm confused. I'm so confused. Anyway. And, like, did they all start turning into demons in the dance floor? It kind of reminds me of that, where you're just, like, this weird psychedelic thing. What? Anyway. We have some chick who is in a cape with, like, horns on the sides, I think, like, on her shoulders, and just wearing, like, this fucking helmet, half helmet thing. And then we have a werewolf chick who just kind of looks like a punk rock werewolf with weird nipple things too, like the others, but it's not horns. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like weird hair tassels. I don't know. And then I'm painting a picture. Okay, I'm sorry if you're just like, oh, I don't want to watch this film as long as because there's a lot of like what. And then we have Stila. Anyway, no, we have this. Well, I'll tell you about Stila anyway. Stila's actually important, and she doesn't talk, and she kind of has like a Frankenstein look to her, like patches here and there. And then we have Kiki, who like they try and bully. Like she says quickly, "Aren't you glad, Stila, that we're bullying this new girl instead of you?" And the one that says that is Kiki, and she's like a witch, I think. Like she has like a witch hat and like purple, pinkish red, like two-tone hair. Like it looks like I think the top layer is like purple, and then it looks like underneath. Some people get like underneath rather than like streaks or whatever. Of like underneath is red or pink or whatever the fuck the color is. It's a combination of red and pink. And she kind of bullies Renee, our main girl, a little bit. And so they're all kind of like assholes to her. And I don't know how to explain the show without explaining the plot, but it's like one of those things that like I can't explain the plot. But it's a fucking trip. It also reminded me a lot of like, I will be shocked if anyone's ever fucking heard of this thing. Okay, so when we had Comcast, I think it was Comcast, a very long time ago, I'd never heard anything about this movie. I'd never read anything about this movie. I knew nothing about this goddamn movie. But I watched a movie called Cat Soup. To this day, I cannot tell you what the fuck that thing was about. I think I read a paragraph somewhere that has something to do with the afterlife. I don't know. I just remember it was two cats, and they were traveling around, and like, there's one scene where they kind of get cut up, but they're like still alive, and they're on a boat somewhere, and I can't tell you anything else that happened in this goddamn movie. But the reason it reminded me of this is because both this movie and Cat Soup it's entertaining to watch, but you give up real quick on the plot, if there is one. You're just kind of like watching something. It's kind of like you see like you're watching something weird happen, and you're watching it because you're not expecting it to happen. You just kind of stare at weird shit. You're just kind of like taken aback by it. Like that's kind of how this whole film and that movie. Like you're not watching it for the content. Like I said, there is a plot here. But yeah, it's basically her finding out that she's dead, or supposedly she's dead, but actually she's not dead, and someone brought her to hell. Oh god, I forgot to tell you the best part, the part that actually made me pause the movie and do a what? Just like that. So there is a character called HELLS, and he is, I guess, the person that rules over this hell, or as he calls it, Destinyland. This fucker is a red devil, like you think Satan. If he was doing an Elvis Presley impersonation, with weird horn nipples too, who says baby every 5 seconds. I don't know what to think of this movie. Hence why I started this video out with, I don't know what the fuck I watched. I was entertained the entire time. I don't think really in a good way or a bad way. It was just pure what the fuckery. It's just, that's what I would title this movie. And yeah, she's, or supposedly you're dead if you're there, but she's not actually dead. Someone took her there, and then they have... Okay, now I'm going to spoil some shit. Like, I'm spoiling big plot points later in the movie. But before I do that, I should also mention this movie feels like it drags on at times. But not in like, oh, let's get going, but like there's a lot of shit I feel like they didn't, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it feels like it drags on, but not in the way like you would expect from shows where you're like, okay, this is taking too long. We could have, like, cut out chunks of this. Like, I don't feel any of that. But I know this fucking movie was too long. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, getting to the main part is, yes, we find out this dude, this HELLS, is kind of painted as an evil dude. He's actually not. Well, I guess technically he is, but actually not. Okay, he's painted as the antagonist, and he is in history an antagonist, but he's not actually the evil person. It's actually the guy she bumps into at the start, who we find out is a student council president, and him and four other people are like dead but not dead, just like her. And they know that because she was bleeding, and if you're dead, you don't bleed. And we find out the student council president is Abel, and Kane is the HELLS, and so there's this giant thing of madness that's Abel's madness, and Renee, trying to think she's saving him, removes this fucking blade, light cross sword thing from it, and of course he goes mad and tries to destroy Destinyland and erase people into nothingness, and uses Stele because technically she had the power of nothingness, and it's like, I don't know how to describe this fucking movie. It's just fucking weird. Oh yeah, and she meets God, who is apparently the fucking cat. What? This movie is just... I've never been drunk, I've never done drugs, but I'm pretty sure this is definitely a movie that would be fun with some friends who are either high or drinking. Like, this is... You know what? No, wait, here's what you should do. If you have friends and you like to watch weird shit with them, have them watch it. Say, here, trust me, watch this. Tell them nothing. Tell them fucking nothing and say, okay. Like, you can turn this into a game of like, okay, so I want you to try and guess what the fucking plot is. I'm not going to tell you nothing. And then watch the movie. And I want you to film them by the end of this movie. And if they aren't like, I didn't know the drink. I don't know, just please try not to kill yourselves when I drink too much alcohol, because I feel like this could very much happen. Anyway, this is just... I don't know how to describe this movie. I don't know how to do a review on it. I don't know how to... I just want to talk about it. Like, you just see something and you want to talk about it. Not really a constructive conversation, but you want to talk about it anyway. See, I am very glad I watched it, but also I'm like, fucking why? Was this made? Why? Like, they try and shoehorn so hard. Just morals and like, you gotta believe in yourself and friendship and My Little Pony magic bullshit, you know. Okay, spoiling the rest of HELLS is Kane. Abel is the student council president. And then guess who Rena is the incarnation of? Fucking Eve. Like Adam and Eve, yeah, by the way, Adam shows up too. He's not explaining why the fuck he shows up, he just shows up. Of course, she doesn't remember any of this shit. So this random guy's like, "Hi, honey, I miss you." She's like, "Seriously, who the fuck are you?" And then apparently, Adam and Eve are Cain and Abel's mom and dad, and the reason Cain murdered Abel was because he was jealous of getting all of like mom and dad's attention. But like, there's this one creepy part where like, I was expecting, just the way they showed it, that like, oh my god, is Cain gonna like rape Eve? Like, what the fuck? Because he says like, I want to touch mother's flesh. He's like glaring at her or him, or like Abel, who's breastfeeding, like he's little and he's like a kid, and then like, I seriously thought that was gonna happen. Like, are you trying to hint that he's like trying to rape her, or like he wants to? Like, what? But they don't go down that route. They just say, "Oh, I wanted attention from both of you." I'm just like, you didn't mention your dad at all. You were clearly just all about your mom. What the fuck is this movie? So yeah, expect nudity, expect language, expect a little bit of bullying. Some weird biblical shit. I don't know the story of Cain and Abel. All I know about Cain and Abel is that something to do with the Bible is like a thing, and like Cain committed the first murder, and he was jealous of his brother. That's all I know. I don't understand what the fuck this movie was. I just have fun if you watch it. I want to know your thoughts if you watch it. No, seriously, more than any review I've done, I want to know what your fucking thoughts were on this. Did you play the drinking game? Did you make one up like I was trying to tell you to? How was your friends' reactions if you told them, or if you made them watch this? Did you understand the plot better than I did? Probably. Because what? Oh god. I'm so fucking I don't want to stop talking about it, but I can't talk about it. Like, what is this movie? Like I said, it's a 2008 film, and I guess they consider, what was it? I think they called it fantasy something, is what they labeled it. I don't know. We supposedly is like this school in hell, and hell is the principal. If you want to get back to life, you gotta graduate. What the fuck this film was? Anyway, I'm thinking about doing another review, but I'm not sure because I know how to describe that movie even less, but it was more normal. So I don't know if I want to do a review on another movie I watched like literally right after it, called Like the Clouds, Like the Wind, which is another thing they uploaded on Crunchyroll. And I don't know how to describe it, but by the end of it, I was like, well, that was fucking depressing. What? Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. Kind of reminded me of a very sad, very empty Ghibli movie. I don't like the style of the art style. I know I didn't say that right. Anyway, I'm gonna Probably remember this fucking thing for a long time. And I'll still, like, Katsu be like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think there was more plot than Katsu, but I don't know. I need to go back and watch that movie. I don't know where the fuck I'd find it. Was it Comcast that I was on? I don't remember. I feel like it was something. I don't know. I was very limited what I watched. Because I only focused on, like, certain channels. Like, I'd only watch the Food Network if I was going to sleep, because if I left it on Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, whatever the fuck it was called at the time. And I think Toonami. Is they play a lot of horror movie commercials. I'm not good with horror movies. So that's why we turned to the Food Network or, like, Nickelodeon or Nick Jr. That's how I would base my days. If Franklin was on, I could go back to sleep. I don't know. I'm rambling. I don't know. I like the style. I think there was music in this thing. I only remember 2 songs. The ending song, which is kind of not my thing, and then there was a song when they were playing volleyball, and I swear to God, Elvis must have made it or something. I don't know. I just remember going, what? Oh yeah, they play volleyball. By the way, there's a fucking volleyball tournament where the winning team's wish will be granted. I don't know. I fucking give up trying to understand this movie. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Seriously, if you watch this movie, I want to know what your reaction was to it. Please. I need someone to talk about this. This is like, I can't get it out of my head and I want it out of my head. Okay, bye.